Both of these teams eager to get on the road. Welcome back to Wayland Gymnasium. This is the final game of the 2023 Skyhawk Invitational. Angelo State and Southwest Oklahoma State University. These two teams both played in 5-setters earlier today. I was telling my producer, Capri Abadessa, that often means that neither team has got enough left to put the other away. We're seeing that on the first point here. Neither team able to grab an advantage and even get a point so much as start thinking about winning a set or a match right now. This is a long rally to start the final match of the tournament. Angelo State just keeps coming. The Bulldogs keep answering. There's a smash from Morgan. And a dig from Angelo State. Oh, that's a really big dig from Chavez there. A deep shot from Mott. Look at this. Might be the longest rally of the tournament. And finally, it's Marina Sanchez who finishes it off. First point goes to the Bells of Angelo State University. I do think just pure talent, this probably the most talented team in the field. Now, you say that knowing, like, for instance, Fort Lewis, their starting middle blocker, didn't play all weekend because she was ill. And, you know, I don't know what other roster challenges some of these teams had, but as far as personnel on the floor, man, this Angelo State team has really, really got some players. And they're undefeated. Not that teams haven't pushed them. Fort Lewis took them to 4 sets. East Central this morning took them to 5 sets. Southwestern Oklahoma State. Morgan has started to just, Macy Morgan has played a bigger and bigger role as the day has progressed. Coach Collins, I think, thinking he's found something there. Morgan, a 5'10 senior from Edmond, Oklahoma. That's another thing that I noticed. Coach Collins does a lot of recruiting from Edmond, a northern suburb of Oklahoma City, about an hour and a half away from the Southwestern Oklahoma State campus. Tied it, 2 apiece. My voice is starting to go a little bit, folks. Kinnison with a big smash there. We saw her struggle earlier today against East Central. East Central picked up, they were the last team to claim a win in the tournament. They did it in their final game just now, putting down CSU Pueblo in 4 sets. CSU Pueblo, rough tournament. They were able to beat this Southwestern Oklahoma State team in 5 sets, but they lost in 3 sets this morning to Texas A&M International, lost in 4 sets this afternoon to East Central. They got the win over this team and were flushed in 3 straight sets yesterday by Angelo State early. Angelo State been rough on the Armac this week. They swept New Mexico Highlands on Tuesday, swept CSU Pueblo yesterday. And let me double check that. Pueblo might have stolen a set from them on that. Angelo State, here we go. No, yeah, they did. Pueblo won the 3rd set of that match, 28-26, but unable to get a win today against East Central or Texas A&M International. Texas A&M International, only 1 loss in the tournament. Fort Lewis finished 2-2. East Central finished 1-3. Angelo State right now 3-0, and this Southwestern Oklahoma State team is 1-2. Angelo State with the early advantage in this one. Had the answer for the Smith smash there. Boy, good team movement on the Angelo State side of the court right now. If you just sort of watch how they're flowing and meshing together, it's a team that's clicking right now. They came into this thing, right now at least, looking to put it away and lock down their season. They're not just undefeated this weekend. They're undefeated on the season. A&M International took their first loss of the year in the first game of the tournament against Fort Lewis College on Thursday night. Two teams came into this undefeated. This is one of them. The other was Texas A&M International. A&M International, after that loss, bounced back to win 3 straight. They went home 7-1. Angelo State at 7-0 would like to go home 8-0. Southwestern Oklahoma State came in 3-1 before losing their first 2 games. They got back over 500 with that win over the Skyhawks. Skyhawks, by the way, 2-2 on the weekend, 3-5 overall after the first 2 weeks of the preseason. And the Bulldogs of Southwestern Oklahoma State would like to go home with a winning record of 5-3. Angelo State would like to remain unblemished. That sort of sets the table for you. Now just underway in this final match of the 2023 Skyhawk Invitational. Bob Bonner, I'd like to thank all the fans from Texas and Oklahoma and eastern Colorado who have tuned in and listened and cheered for their teams. I hope you've enjoyed watching the tournament here. We've enjoyed hosting your teams, and I think all of them have found some joy here, both on the court and away from it. Durango, a wonderful place to visit, and I think it's been a really good weekend for all of these athletes and coaches and the fans who've made the trip. Mott with a heads-up tip right there. Galt and Turner will check in. Smith and Chavez to the bench. Turner will serve it up. Cameron, a 6-foot sophomore, and I mean, having a 6-foot setter is it's just big. That's an extra blocker you get at the net, but they only use her in back row rotation. If they could ever develop her skill set as a blocker or, heaven forbid, a blocker and a hitter, she could be a real weapon. Nice set there to Mott. Talk about weapons. Lacey Mott, 5'6" junior out of Waxahachie, Texas. If you're just tuning in for the first time, you know this has been one of our favorite players to watch here. She is some kind of athlete. 5'6", and she plays like she's 5'10", maybe at times 6 foot. She is just a great leaper, good strength, and impeccable timing. Great dig there by Mott. Turner sets it back to Galt, goes cross court with it. No problem for Kirkpatrick. Torres rises, tips it. Galt lays out for the dig, but can't keep it in play. Evelyn Torres will rotate out. Ireland Ferguson, the 5'4" sophomore defensive specialist, in to serve. This was something that Coach Waddington of Angelo State started doing. Torres actually stayed in full rotation all through the day yesterday, and the start of the day today, he started rolling Ferguson in on the back row for her in that 5-set match against East Central. That one's in. And the Bulldogs down by 3 now. Kuzma to serve. Kuzma gets it over. The freshman Parrish receives. The back set to Lamphere. Parrish, do they give it right back? No, they go middle to Boldrick. Southwestern Oklahoma State. Sparks in the middle of that block. Sparks, a 6'2" junior out of Canyon, Texas. Here comes Parrish. Freshman, she goes off the block there. The line judge emphatic about that tip. And no argument from the bench of the Bulldogs. Angelo State back on top, 10-7 here. They lead it by 3. Enax, the libero, has been awfully good this weekend. Seen a lot of good liberos in this tournament. Enax stands out a little bigger than the others, but plays basically the same game. I think just a little more reach, a little more ability to demonstrate some physicality. It's not like she's going up and playing at the net at all, but she's just sort of stood out a little bit. Like I said, the liberos have been awful good. But we've seen most of these teams switch liberos. For example, Permenter, the libero right now for Southwestern Oklahoma State University, but Holloway has also worn the dark blue shirt for the Bulldogs. That one's out. I don't think Enax has been rotated out of that libero spot. I think she's played it all weekend for them. We'll look around. I think she may be the only libero who hasn't gotten a rest. Let me take a look real quick because, CSU Pueblo used both Marshall and Richtmeyer this weekend. Fort Lewis used Sarah Wilkie, and today they used Chloe Rule. East Central had Roshek in the role today, but Macy McCamus has played libero for them as well. I already told you the Skyhawks too. Can you tell I've worked 12 games and I'm trying to find things to talk about? Texas A&M International, I haven't seen them for a while. Perez, their little 5'2 libero, is the only one to play there. So, yeah, the two teams that have won 3 games in the tournament are the two that kept the same libero throughout the tournament. And if you make me pick between Perez and Enax, I have a hard time doing it. Perez just covers so much floor. I think I called her a water bug today, just scurrying about. And Enax just seems to have a really good sense of where the ball's going to go, and then just that nice reach. She's a little taller, 5'8", than the 5'2" libero for Texas A&M International. Perez, and it's just like that extra 6 inches gives her what she needs to get to a few balls that maybe Perez can't. But like I said, it's 1A, 1B on those two liberos, and they're a big part of the reason their two teams were so successful here this weekend. Kinnison with a smash. Parrish keeps it alive. And number 8, Smith in the net, actually. Haley Smith, the 6'2 sophomore from Prosper, Texas, transferred in from Nova Southeastern University. One of the best Division II basketball programs in the country. As a matter of fact, the Division II national champions. Mott up for the tip. Nice dig by Torres, and Enax there to send it across. Angelo State looking to live and fight another day. They throw up the block in front of Mott there, but Mott so powerful, pounded it right into the block and right back out of bounds. Kuzma checks in for Sparks. And back to serve now, Permenter. Dale sets it up to Torres, too strong. Don't look now, Southwestern Oklahoma State has taken the lead in set number 1. Bulldogs up 14-13. Permenter. Parrish in the back row plays it. They set it up to Kinnison. The big block from Mott comes down and touches Kinnison before it falls to the floor, and Angelo State wants a timeout just like that. The Bulldogs lead it by 2, 15-13. We're in the first set of the final match of the Skyhawks Invitational. Back in a minute. Southwestern Oklahoma State has emerged from a troubling Friday. Oh, boy. Permenter finds the line there. Now a 3-point lead for the Bulldogs. Looking to take set one from the undefeated Angelo State Bells. Permenter again, and boy, Eakins has to go down, or Enax, has to go down for that one. Nice dig by Permenter. Mott with a smash. Sanchez with the answer. Marina Sanchez, the 5'11 senior from Presidio, Texas, a transfer from UTEP. A lot of D1 transfers on this team. Sanchez from UTEP. Dale from Alabama, Birmingham. Smith misses on the cross-court smash. University of San Francisco, that's where Hannah Kinnison, number 9, went. UT Tyler transfers Evelyn Torres out there. Thought there was one more, but I believe that is it. Impressive resumes from some of these players. They're the real deal Division I athletes, too. They have shown that often. Angelo State back to within 2. But the Bulldogs serving. It's Turner. Their big setter rotates in on the back row. Kinnison with a crush. I think that went off of Lacey Mott's head. That's what she's showing the bench. With a smile on her face. Angelo State down by 1. I believe that's Kirkpatrick over there serving. It is, the freshman setter. Mott gets a little air under that one. No problem for Parrish in the back row. Torres with the tip. Oh, they keep it alive. Mott's going to try a swing. Great dig by Enax, and she's going to have to send it over the net herself as that one kept alive coming out of the rafters. Kuzma, great dig by Torres. Deep ball from Kirkpatrick. Parmenter to the setter, Turner. Galt with the hammer. We have not seen much of that from her all weekend. She brings it here. Galt has done most of her damage with the tip, but big blast there, and the Bulldog lead is back to 2. Mott to serve. Enax, another. That's what I talk about, that little bit of extra reach she has as a 5'8 libero. Her dives aren't these frenetic dives to get to the ball. She sort of leans towards the floor, and it seems like she's just a little more under control, and it results in really, really good passes for her setters. Angelo State back to within 1. Into the net, we're tied. Permenter with a rare error. She's played really well for this Bulldog team today. We're tied at 18 in the first set, final match of the Skyhawks Invitational. Ferguson serves. Little miscommunication there. Free ball coming over from Permenter. Kirkpatrick sets it up for Parrish. The freshman blast it, but Mott's there to keep it in play. There's a big shot down the middle from Kuzma. Samantha Kuzma, 5'11 junior from Portland, Texas. She's been pretty steady for them, especially today. It was a big win they got over Fort Lewis. They won the first 2 sets. Skyhawks won the 3rd and 4th. There's a point for Angelo State. And then the Bulldogs just outlasted Fort Lewis. It took them 3 match points, but they finally got the Skyhawks to claim their first victory in this tournament. They want to cut down an even bigger tree here, though. Tied late in the first set with Angelo State. Enax with the service error. The Bells trail it by a point. Galt rotates out, as does Turner. That brings Sanchez and Smith back here. Chavez and Smith. Chavez with the serve. Kirkpatrick unable to get up there and play it. The serve return right back into the lap of Sparks, who knew exactly what to do with it. Bulldogs with a 2-point edge, need 4 to close out the set. Chavez will serve it up again. Enax handles that one. They set it back to Lampier. Big block from Sparks. Angelo State has to scramble, and that's Sparks, the biggest blocker in this tournament. She didn't play like it yesterday, but she has today. She is a weapon. Zoe Sparks, a 6'2 junior from Canyon. We're going to take a break. Listen to a little Cotton Eye Joe. Be back to the action here in a minute. Southwestern Oklahoma State looking to close out the first set here against the favorite Angelo State Bells. I got to tell you, if you're listening at home in San Angelo or there in Southwestern Oklahoma, do me a favor. The fans that you got here, let them know how disappointed I am in them there. A bunch of Oklahoma and Texas fans, and not a single one of them got up and started dancing when they played Cotton Eye Joe in the gym. That would never happen in Wyoming, folks. Trust me on that. Angelo State scuffling here to end the first set. And the Bulldogs about ready to claim the victory in the first set. Enax sends it right back across, and Sparks is just all over it. Sparks is like a predator at the net today. She wasn't this big or this dominant yesterday. Funny how this game, how the tides shift. There's a service ace by Chavez to close it out. Chuck Waddington's got some things to talk about with his Angelo State Bells. The Bulldogs looking to win back-to-back games here. They claim set one over the undefeated Angelo State Bells. 25-19, back with set two in a couple of minutes. Back to action here. Set number 2. Angelo State looking to rally after dropping the first set. And they get a point to open up the second. Southwestern Oklahoma State looking to win their second straight today after a pair of disappointing losses yesterday. Angelo State looking to stay undefeated on the season. So far, it's the Bulldogs getting the better of this one. Set 1 winners, but struggling a little bit here to start the second set. There's Morgan, who was big at the beginning of the set, was really big in that Fort Lewis match earlier today, but pretty quiet down the stretch. They didn't really need her. Sparks there at the net has been the big player this afternoon. Zoe Sparks, the 6'2 junior out of Canyon, Texas. Morgan rotates out, and Holloway comes on to serve. Tied it. No, excuse me, Angelo State with the 2-1 lead. Holloway serves it. Parrish receives. Boldrick up front. Talk about quiet in that last set. We didn't hear from Boldrick much at all. She's disappeared a couple of times this weekend, but man, when she's visible, is she visible. Her, Lamphere, and Torres on the net right now for Angelo State. They lead it 3-1, looking to get a set back after dropping one to the Bulldogs to open this final match of the tournament. Smith misses long there. These athletes are so good as the momentum shifts one way to the other. It's just you feel powerless to do anything about it. It just sort of seems like the volleyball gods make things happen the way they want. But if you've watched these 12 games this weekend, you know that's not true. These coaches have made big adjustments. Players have made big adjustments. The best teams yesterday, not necessarily the best teams today. Although Texas A&M International and this Angelo State team have been consistently pretty dang good. I thought Fort Lewis College was good for the most part this weekend. Especially Thursday night, that straight set win over Texas A&M International. Angelo State out to a 3-point lead early. They led early in the first set, though. Evelyn Torres with the serve. She's going to stay in and play the back row this set, maybe. Torres going to tip it across there. Angelo State had to scramble a little bit. Mott with the big hit. Kirkpatrick can't make a play on it. Side out to the Bulldogs. Galt and Turner rotate in. Turner will go serve. Cameron Turner, the 6-foot sophomore. Kirkpatrick sets it right back to Parrish. She blasted off the block. Maddie Parrish was really quiet in that first set. Only a freshman, as good as this Angelo State team is, she may be their most consistent producer front and back row. She doesn't come off the floor much. Pretty quiet in the first set. Comes up with a big kill there for him in this set. Oh, thought it was going to be Parrish again, but Sanchez called her off and just sent the free ball across. Now Parrish and Sanchez up together for the block, but Galt too strong for him. Galt was kind of the she consistently tipped the ball well, scored most of her points in their first 3 matches off of tips. She swung away a couple of times here against Angelo State and has proven to be a very effective hitter. I don't know if she just likes the matchup more. Lamphere off the block of Morgan and Kuzma there. Lainey Dale comes in to serve. Kinnison comes up front, where she'll join Sanchez and Parrish. Dale, the senior transfer from UAB. Galt, this time she does take a little off of it. Played easily by Torres. Sanchez rejected, keeps it alive. Torres sends it across. This one up at the net, too close to the net. Sanchez went up and intimidated Kuzma. didn't know what to do with it, and she ended up just watching it fall to the floor. Angelo State looking to even it up at a set apiece. Dale sends that one across. Permenter looked like she was tracking it all the way, but she sort of leaned into it in slow motion and misplayed it. Lainey Dale, a 5'8 senior, and the Bulldogs want to talk it over. They trail 9-4 in the second set. Up still 1-0. Angelo State looking to even it up at a set apiece. They lead at 9-4 here right now. The Bells undefeated, coming in looking to go home undefeated. Misplayed there by Torres, or just a little too hot to handle. Either way, it's a side out to the Bulldogs, and Kuzma will serve, the 5'11 junior middle. He's had a nice day today. Enax, no trouble with that one. Sanchez with a blast, but she misses the far sideline. She got a great set there, but tried to hit around that big block. We're seeing a Southwestern Oklahoma State. The big block yesterday didn't scare anybody, but very effective here today. Kinnison with the tip. Nice cover by Cameron Turner, the setter. Morgan tips it. Dale, boy, she might have gotten under the net. No call. Mott unable to handle that one. Point to Angelo State. Now Parrish comes off. This game, Coach Waddington is rotating Parrish off for Ferguson, letting Torres play front and back row. It's the first time we've seen Maddie Parrish get a breather. Sparks has to shift to the left hand, still able to get a pretty nice tip over. Torres just has to send a free ball back. It's going to be a free swing from Morgan here. Kinnison there on the block, but she blocks it back out of bounds. Don't look now, but here come the Bulldogs again. This is about when they made their push in the first set. I wondered coming in, both teams playing 5 sets earlier today, who that would take a bigger toll on. Don't forget, these folks are at 7,000 feet for the first time, too. These are some lowland colleges up here playing in the mountains this weekend. There's a big side out from Angelo State. Like I said, this is a kind of a pivot point in the set. This is when Southwestern Oklahoma State asserted themselves in set number 1. They ended up winning it, running away. Sanchez to serve now with a 4-point lead. Chavez sets it up for Morgan, and she misses long. Bulldogs just, again, their energy, not what it was in the first set. Angelo State has seized momentum. Chavez in the middle to Sparks, and that's good. Yeah, when in doubt, set it to Zoe Sparks. She's been pretty tough. Morgan to the bench. Holloway will come in and serve. Holloway sends it across. Ferguson plays it. Dale, the back set to Kinnison. Never got over the net. 4 hits on Angelo State. The Bulldogs keep hanging around, down only 3 now. Holloway serves again. Torres plays it. They go right back to Evelyn. Big block again. Sparks, and I think Smith is the one who walled that one off. And Torres has been crushing people from the pin all weekend, but a pair of 6'2" blockers thrown up by Southwestern Oklahoma State. Once those blockers got in rhythm, they started making it tough for people. Smith about scored it there. Now Sparks comes up with a big one. Enax is just going to have to send this one across. Southwestern Oklahoma State within 2. Mott with a smash, but Torres up big to block it. Mott at 5'6". Evelyn Torres at 5'9", and Torres got the best of that exchange. Angelo State's lead back to 3. The freshman Kirkpatrick to serve. She's a big setter at 5'11". Only a freshman out of Bonham, Texas. Smith with a big hit. That one finds the floor in front of a diving Enax. And Southwestern Oklahoma State trying to claw their way back into it here. They won the first set. Don't want to concede the second set yet. It's been all Angelo State here in the second frame, but a run here from the Bulldogs and a free ball chance to get to within 1. Smith fires off of Ferguson and out of bounds. It's a 1-point match right now, 1-point set, at least 13-12. Bells still on top, but this is exactly how the first set went. The Bells looked like they were going to cruise and established early control, and Southwest Oklahoma State came back and never looked back. There's a good kill by Lamphere down the sideline, but still smiles on the faces of the Bulldogs. They're within 2 as the side out goes over to Torres and the Bells. Evelyn gets some serving instructions from the bench. Sends it deep, actually. Plants it right between Mott and Holloway. That's a big ace for Evelyn Torres in Angelo State. The Bulldogs worked awful hard to get it back to 2 or 1, actually. A side out having to go to 2 wasn't any big deal, but Torres hitting that ace right away. A little demoralizing. Mott with a good one down the line, but Kirkpatrick is up to it. Parrish with a big hit into the block, though. Smith, I think, does the damage there. Torres dives but can't keep it alive. And the lead back down to 2, Southwestern Oklahoma State. Cameron Turner serving. This rotation has gotten better today a lot. Galton Turner coming in there, especially here in this match. These two have been pretty good. Parrish into the block. Lamphere has to keep it alive. Kinnison. Turner is there. Mott with a smash, and it's in front of a diving Ekans, and again the lead is 1. Boy, any given Saturday, the two teams that couldn't win yesterday, East Central and Southwestern Oklahoma State University, are awful good here today. And now we're tied at 15 on the misplay by Parrish on that serve receive. Tied at 15 apiece. Cameron Turner will serve. Takes her time. An Angelo State fan kicks the bleachers right as she tosses it, but able to focus. And then Turner, nice reception of that attack from Lamphere. They're going to set up Parrish this time. She goes over the block, but Permenter ready for it. Now Mott down the sideline. Just misses. Angelo State regains the lead. Enax back to serve for the Bells. Sends it across. Holloway plays it. The roll play to none, but that was awful slow to develop. That's not something they run a lot, and it's kind of obvious. I think they're laughing about it because of that. The setup from Turner just sort of hung in the air, and then none took forever to get around to it, and they just never got the play executed. Mott with a big crush, and that'll force a side out. Bulldogs back to within a point. Morgan going to check in for Holloway. And with Mott serving, this is a big lineup on the floor right now for Southwestern Oklahoma State. They've got 4 bona fide hitters on the floor, and their big setter and Turner. Permenter going to be busy on the back row along with Mott, though. Sanchez goes to the right, and Mott, she recognized immediately what the set was. Didn't try to put too much on that, just got it out of reach of Lacey Mott. Angelo State up by 2 again. Laney Dale with the serve. Permenter handles it, set back to Galt. She goes back to the tip. And Angelo State was ready for it. Torres just sends it over. Boy, Mott tries to send that one deep. Torres scrambles and keeps it in play. Kinnison a tip. Permenter comes up and plays it, but she plays it right into Galt, I believe. It comes right back down in her lap. And Angelo State now with a 3-point lead, looking to even it up at a set apiece. Collins wants to talk things over with these Bulldogs. We'll be back to action in just a minute. Angelo State looking to even things up at a set apiece. They lead it by 3 here late in the second set. Parrish on the smash. Permenter no trouble with that, but she sets it over where Sanchez can get to it. And Marina makes short work of that one. Angelo State up by 4, 5 points to go to close out set number 2. 20-16, the senior transfer Dale serving. It's a big smash from Kuzma. Southwestern Oklahoma State not ready to give it up yet, and they get Zoe Sparks back up front now in rotation as Kuzma drops back to serve, down by 3. I would not count the Bulldogs out of this one. Dale to Sanchez. Big dig. Turner has played really, really well in this match. Parrish going to send it over to Kinnison, and she puts it into the net. It's a 2-point game. The Bells having trouble closing out the Bulldogs here in set number 2. Kuzma serves again. Parrish sends it right back across. Morgan wasn't able to get much on that, or this would have been a 1-point game. Kinnison finds the back line, and I think Collins is going to challenge this one. Where's his challenge card? Did they decide to play this one without challenges because they're trying to hurry it? I don't see green challenge cards out there, and Collins clearly thinks that they missed the call. These two teams came out and played on a short warm-up because we got behind. Now Sparks all of a sudden makes it a 2-point game again. They started this game on a short warm-up, and it looks to me like the two coaches must have agreed to not use replay challenges in this game because the green card is not at the scorer's table on either side of it. And I think Collins would have challenged that last call. There's a big play from Sparks. And look, you see it's a 1-point game. Had he been able to challenge, Southwestern Oklahoma State would be up by a point right now because I think he'd have won the challenge. The Lady Bells clinging to a 1-point lead. Dale sets Torres, big block, and we're tied. Evelyn Torres, no fear, pounded it right into the 2-6-2 girls. But Smith and Sparks say no. Tied at 21. The Bulldogs making a push here. Torres, Dale, Kinnison the tip, kept alive by Permenter. Smash back over by Morgan. Enax, Kinnison with a smash back row. Mott no trouble with that. Chavez into the middle, Sparks, but she hits it right to Dale. Enax set it back to Torres. She tries to go over the block. Sparks with the stuff and the kill. Oh my, Southwestern Oklahoma State has gained the lead late here. 22-21 over the Bells of Angelo State. The Bulldogs looking to go up 2-0. I can't tell whose dad it is, but when you got someone in gray hair busting a move to too legit to quit, you know you're having a good time, Capri. I think that's one of the Southwestern Oklahoma State fans over there enjoying himself. And why not? Or maybe it's just a Skyhawk volleyball fan who decided to stay late and party. A 2-point lead now for the Bulldogs. Waddington trying to stall it out and let his team regroup. I don't know what I honestly didn't see the call. I was watching the guy dancing in the stands and enjoying it. We're going to see if this is overruled. They're going to replay that. And now Collins is going to send his setter over to the chair to see what's up. Collins says it's okay. He calls Chavez back, says I'm good with it. I think they might have just started the point before both officials were ready. 22-21, Southwestern Oklahoma State has taken a lead late here. Angelo State controlled this set the whole way. Bulldogs looking to go up 2-0 here, have roared back into it. Chavez. Enax, the quick set to Kinnison. Good dig by Chavez. Permenter going to give it to Morgan into the net, and Kinnison there to throw up the block alongside Sanchez. We're tied at 22. Side out to the Bells. Coach Collins tries to rally his team again. I get a feeling this set's going to be really big for momentum for whichever team wins it. Sparks denied there. Ferguson comes up with a big save. Boldrick at the net to deny. Advantage, Angelo State. Collins clapping his hands. I thought he was stepping up to call a timeout, but he's exhorting his team from the sidelines still. Sanchez serves again, and there's a freebie. Waddington, his turn to give a visible reaction there as he looks down at his feet. Tied at 23. What'll the Bulldogs do with this? They bring on Holloway, who was a little inconsistent serving yesterday, but was really good in that Fort Lewis match and has played very well here against the team from San Angelo, Texas. Nice serve there. Trouble with the receive. Enax is going to have to send a free ball over. Miscommunication by the Bulldogs, though. Here comes Mott. Ferguson keeps it alive. Torres gets it back in play. Big block at the net from Mott and Sparks. Smith up to challenge that. And it's a set point for Southwestern Oklahoma State. They've come all the way back in the second set, lead at 24-23, already up 1-0 over the undefeated Angelo State Bells. Bulldogs looking to claim set number 2. Miscommunication there by the Bells. Kinnison flying in, misses. They say there is a tip. Sparks must have gotten a finger on it. Set point averted. The Bells will serve now tied at 24 apiece. It's the freshman Kirkpatrick who gets her number called here. She doesn't play like a freshman, though. We've seen her make some really good plays. She's a fantastic setter. Smith goes cross-court. Kirkpatrick receives to Torres. She's had trouble with the block. Goes around at that time. Holloway, a really nice dig. Mott blasts that one off of Ferguson's fist and out of bounds. I mean, as good as Sparks has been, you see Sparks rotate now. Kuzma coming on. Lacey Mott is so good. Do not be surprised if the Bulldogs go to her for the winner here. Permenter serves it. Kirkpatrick trouble. It's going to be a free ball. Bulldogs take set 2, 26-24. They'll look to close it out and finish off the upset over the undefeated Bells in set 3, just a few minutes. Welcome back. Apologize, we momentarily lost you and at a really bad time right at the end of that set, which Lacey Mott with 2 kills to close it out for Southwestern Oklahoma State. They lead it 2-0 over the undefeated Angelo State Bells. The coaches made some modifications. This is late. We were supposed to start this game at 5 o'clock. It actually got started at 7 because we had a couple of 5-set games and a 4-setter today on a tight schedule. The 2 coaches apparently agreed to go with short warm-ups and then agreed to not challenge. They put the green challenge cards away for this. The lack of a challenge came into play briefly there for the Bulldogs when I think they could have used one to grab a lead late in that game, but they ended up getting the lead anyways and winning the set. Dale will start. First serve here, set number 3, Angelo State, hoping to remain undefeated and probably climb into the top 25 polls if they can come back and win this one. But Sparks awful good at the net right now. That's going to be easier said than done for the Bells. This Southwestern Oklahoma State University team literally did not get off the bus yesterday for their first game. Them and East Central both really struggled. They were the last two teams to play a first game in the tournament, and they looked like it. The other teams had another game under their belt and a little bit more rhythm. And, boy, you see now as day two has progressed, East Central and Southwestern Oklahoma State. If Southwestern Oklahoma State can finish this out, those two teams will combine for a 3-1 record today after going winless yesterday. Bulldogs lead it 2-0. Holloway serves, catches the tape, gets it over. Smith! Is Sanchez able to play that, but played it right back over, and Smith having her best game of the tournament by far. Haley Smith, the 6'2 sophomore out of Prosper, Texas, the transfer from Nova Southeastern. Bulldogs lead it 3-0. Holloway. Dale flying in to smoke that one. Number 10, Allman. We haven't seen much of her this weekend. She's had some spotty playing time. Coach Waddington trying to come up with something here, and Allman delivers. Always good to get a spark off your bench when you go to your bench hoping for a spark. And Waddington and the Bells get it there. Torres. The serve into the middle, Sparks. She directs to Enax on the tip. Parrish, big hit. And it looks like Smith must have been in the net there for the Bulldogs. Angelo State back to within one after the early onslaught from Southwestern Oklahoma State. Torres serves again, and Mott, all she can do is get it over. Sanchez with a big hit, but tipped at the net. She goes off the block. Probably a Sparks would be my guess. We're tied at 3. Southwestern Oklahoma State up 2-0. Angelo State undefeated, trying to avoid their first loss of the year. That serve misplayed. The Bells lead it by 1 now. Evelyn Torres, she is some kind of a player. Big hit from Smith. It'll come right back to her. I don't know if that ever got over. No 4-hit call, though. They play on. Chavez in the middle to Mott. Mott's got to send it back over again. I'm not sure what Parrish tried to do there. She jumped up, then decided not to hit it, and it hit her back on the way down, and then still landed in, so it's not like her contact cost him the point, but that was a funny-looking turn of events. Tied at 4. Parrish to Dale, flying in with the smashes Allman, but she misses. The lead back to the Bulldogs. Permenter serves. Southwestern Oklahoma State with a short bench, too. The two Oklahoma teams, I don't know if they brought their full rosters. They made pretty good road trips here. Of course, the Texas teams, 4 hits on the Angelo State side there. And so the Oklahoma team now with the 2-point lead again. The Texas teams had a ways to travel, too, of course. But, yeah, I don't know if East Central and Southwestern Oklahoma State University carry less players on their roster, or if they just traveled with less. It's like 15 on the Bulldogs bench, as opposed to a total of maybe 20 players here for Angelo State. East Central came with a roster of maybe 12 or 13. Kennison keeps it alive. Torres just got to push it over. Oh, the deep tip from Chavez. She had a good idea, but unable to get it deep enough. And Angelo State able to rally. Parrish with the kill. Tied at 6 now. Sanchez will serve. Holloway, back row. Sets it up in the middle for Mott. Oh, boy. Lacey Mott is ferocious. Not very big, but boy, does she play big. Cameron Turner now, she is a big athlete, and she's really asserted herself in this match. I think this has been her best match of the weekend. Only a sophomore. You can expect some inconsistency out of her, but boy, has she hit her stride at the right time for this Bulldogs team, and I think a big part of the reason why they're hoping to pull off 2 wins yesterday after losing 2, or 2 wins today after losing 2 yesterday. Sorry, folks, I'm tired. Turner gets that one across. Dale, the back set. Ooh. Permenter never really got a good play on that smash from Allman. Allman will rotate out now. Kirkpatrick and Lamphere come in. So Allman out there for Kinnison at this point. We've seen Kinnison struggle a bit yesterday. She came in as their dominant front row player, most consistent, and looked that way yesterday all day, but has been out of the lineup a couple of times today, whether that's fatigue, inconsistency, who knows, but Allman getting a chance and making the most of it there. Angelo State ties it again at 8. The freshman Kirkpatrick serving in another big moment early in this third set. Turner, a nice job keeping that alive to Kuzma, but Kuzma unable to really do anything with it. Bats it out of bounds. And the Bells with a lead now, 9-8. Holloway receives the serve. Mott tries to take Kirkpatrick's head off, and Kirkpatrick just ducks and lets that one sail out of bounds. Her self-preservation instincts might have served her team well there, and she tried to play that one. I don't think it would have worked out very well. Oh, saying it must have been a tip at the net. Mott serves, tied at 9 again. Oh, and she tried just a flat-footed serve. That was really weird. I don't know if she was trying to catch Angelo State off guard. I mean, it might have been a cool play had she gotten it over, but she put it into the tape, and side out's going to give Ferguson a chance. Ireland Ferguson, the 5'4" sophomore from Venice, Florida, has gotten more play today. Galt's big smash right into a big block. Turner sets up Morgan for the kill. We're tied at 10, and Sparks comes skipping back onto the floor. And if you're Angelo State, this is starting to work on you right now. This is exactly the way the first 2 sets went. Kuzma, deep, too deep. Nice job by Ferguson and Enax to leave that alone. Side out and a 1-point advantage to the Bells. Boldrick set to, I think, check in. Standing next to Coach Waddington right now. Boldrick's been real quiet in this one. She was awful good against Fort Lewis yesterday. Sparks denied. Now they go to Galt down the line. That's a big smash, big dig by Enax. Torres goes cross court and misses. Evelyn Torres, not made many mistakes this weekend, but one there. We're tied at 11 again. Angelo State's inability to put the Bulldogs away and establish any kind of a run is, I said, it'll turn into seeds of doubt here pretty soon because of the way the first 2 sets went. There's a big rally. Sparks sends that tip deep. They're going to attack from the Torres side of the court. And now Morgan goes deep with that one. Ferguson keeps it alive into the middle. Sanchez with a tip. Chavez set it back to Smith. And she just misses. Once again, Kirkpatrick just has to duck out of the way. And it's the best team she can make, best play she can make for her team. Dales and Allman back on. Slight edge for Angelo State here. Here comes Morgan with a smash. Right back down to the floor. Good dig by Enax, excuse me. Thanks. but straight up into the rafters and down too hard for anybody else to react. Tied again, this time at 12. Two teams just trading side outs right now in this third set. Southwestern Oklahoma State won the first two. Holloway. Dale to set in the middle to Sanchez. They get a block on it. Allow the defense to get behind it. And then Mott blisters one at Dale. First lead in a while for the Bulldogs. Let's see what they do with it. Mott now with 10 kills to pace Southwestern Oklahoma State. That was a vicious one. Sanchez, great dig by Holloway. Mott again. Enax able to dig it out. Right in front of the double block. All Torres can do is get it across safely. Mott going to wind and fire again. No, she tips it. Allman was ready for it. The back set to Torres, who finds a hole in the defense, splits those back defenders. And Evelyn Torres gets back into the groove. Side out for Angelo State. We're tied at 13. Holloway. Boy, she is a nice back row player. Smith finishes a lot. Great sets from Chavez in this match, which Smith has benefited from, but I think Chavez has benefited from Holloway on the back row. Her passes have been, Chavez hasn't had to move. Holloway's sending them right to her. Good dig by Chavez there. Mott with the attack. And she paints the sideline again. Waddington wants to talk about it. And the chair official says, I'm making the call. And you can read his lips there. Not that I do that a heck of a lot, but he was pretty emphatic about that one, overruling the line judge on the other end of the floor. There one's in from Allman, who's playing very well and in rhythm right now. But a 1-point lead still for Southwestern Oklahoma State. Boldrick checks in. She'll man the middle up front. Sanchez serving. She'll rotate off after that serve. Nice set to allow Kuzma to get something on that. Parrish misses. No tip called. Here comes Galt and Turner into the game. This was kind of their weak rotation early on this weekend, but this unit here with Galt and Turner has really made a move in this match. They played pretty well against Fort Lewis, too. Dales with a nice set to Boldrick. There's a side out to Angelo State. The Bells trail it by a point. Hoping to hang on here, down 2-0. Bulldogs of Southwestern Oklahoma State want to finish it out and complete the upset sweep over the undefeated Bells. For Mentor, Turner, for Mott, why not? Just misses. That set was back off the net quite a bit. Now, Mott likes having that room to maneuver around blockers. She doesn't want to be right in the face of blockers who are 8 inches taller than her, but I think that set a little too far back of the net. We're tied at 16. Kirkpatrick serves again. Holloway with another nice dig. Galt sends it across. Great dig by Enax into the corner. Holloway makes a play on that one, but it's not enough. And Angelo State with a late lead here, looking to force a fourth set. Southwestern Oklahoma State, their last 2 matches have gone to 5 sets. They'd love to close one out in 3. The set to Parrish. Holloway can't handle that one. Maddie Parrish had been quiet for a while, but the freshman knew what to do with that one. Angelo State now with a 2-point lead. The Bulldogs need a side out. Collins wants to call a timeout. His team's best chances of winning this game, obviously, come with winning this set and getting on the bus. If this game goes to a 4th or 5th set, the the work just gets harder and harder for Southwestern Oklahoma State, and the pressure just builds more and more. They have played so well here today. And this isn't a team that, like I said, is going to shrink from a five-setter. They lost one last night. They won one this morning. And I think that's part of how they frustrated Fort Lewis and Angelo State both, is that they just refuse to lay down and die. Just when you think you've gotten momentum to go your way, the Bulldogs find a way to seize it back. (18-16) the score in this one. Boy, 3 players with 8 kills. Parrish, Sanchez, and Boldrick. All with 8 kills in this one. A rare misplay by Permenter. She's been so good today. Almost looked too tired to make that play. The lead now 3. This is the most Angelo State is led by in any set this late. 19-6. Kirkpatrick serves again. Holloway, a misplay there. And boy, the spring is out of the Bulldogs' step all of a sudden. The timeout by Collins did nothing to help them this time. Angelo State up by 4 or 5 points away from forcing a fourth set. Kirkpatrick clips the net. Turner to Mott, tips it. Boy, just about everybody on the Angelo State team got a chance at that, but none of them able to make a play that mattered. And now Mott drops back to serve, down by 3 points. Holloway rotates out. Big bodies up front for the Bulldogs, and a really good server in Lacey Mott. Angelo State needs a quick side out. Boldrick sends it right to the setter, Turner. Galt into the side of the block of Lamphere and Boldrick and out of bounds. And boy, this Bulldog team just will not go away. Who's Mott going to pick on with this serve? Down by 2. 20-18. Up 2 sets to none, though. She goes at Parrish. Set across to Lamphere. That's a big smash. Nope, and it's out. Off the pin. Hits the candy cane. The line judge all over that one. It's a 1-point game. Angelo State wants to talk it over. I want to rest a minute. We'll be back after the timeout. Lacey Mott trying to get Southwest Oklahoma State all the way back in this third set. They were trailing by 4, 20-16. 3 straight points from the Bulldogs, though. Great dig by Permenter. She saw that tip coming. Morgan with a smash. The block was there, though. Lamphere, a big block. Mott tries to keep it alive. That one, I think Turner got caught gawking at the net a little bit. Collins up to tell her that she needed to be back to help on that one. 21-19, breathing room again for the Bells. Ferguson, the sophomore out of Venice, Florida, on to serve. Mott handles back row. Turner sets up Galt, and she mishits that one. Galt has played really well this afternoon, but that was a mistake at a bad time. 22-19, a 3-point lead, 3 points away from closing out the third and forcing a fourth. Collins wants to talk it over some more. We'll be back in a minute. Back to action here. Angelo State trying to close out the set. Nice dig by Mott, but Morgan unable to get to it. The Bells a couple of points away from forcing a fourth set here. Ferguson serving. Boy, we've had some great Division II women's volleyball we've been treated to this weekend here on the rim overlooking Durango, Colorado. This one's going to play out a little bit longer, though. There's a answer from the Bulldogs. Down 3 still, but they get a side out and avoid having to face a set point. Kuzma on to serve it. Gets it over, drops it in front of Torres. She's able to get a pretty good hit on it, and Lamphere misses wide down the near sideline. Bulldogs within 2. This team has got a lot of character and fortitude, this Southwestern Oklahoma State team. They look so much better today than they did a day ago. Torres with the tip. Galt the block and then keeps it alive. Sparks tips it deep. Ferguson tracks it down. Torres with a big hit there. Kuzma to Sparks, who tips it out of bounds. And now we've got a set point. Enax will serve it for the Lady Bells. Or the Ram Bells, I guess, as they're known down in Angelo State. Up by 3, set point. Mott with the dig, Sparks with the smash. Boy, it was a good dig by Permenter, but Sparks had given up on the point. And the third set goes to the undefeated Angelo State Bells. They force a fourth set, 25-21. We'll be back with that set in just a couple of minutes. Here we go, fourth set underway in the final match of the Skyhawk Invitational. Angelo State hoping to stay undefeated, fighting off a challenge from Southwestern Oklahoma State University. The Bulldogs actually won the first two sets, and the Bells had to come back late in set number 3 to force this fourth set. Another great rally to start a set, and this one's going to go the way of the Bells. Maddie Parrish, the freshman, who just continues to play. I mean, she's been on the floor more than any other Bell, and the Bells have got some really good D1 transfers and a stacked group of seniors, but it's the freshman who keeps coming up with big plays. Morgan a hit. That's Parrish to play it at the net. The back set now to Allman. She drops that one in front of Chavez. Angelo State feeding off the energy of that third set win. Determined to force a fifth set. They have no intention of going home with a loss on their record. If they could come back and win this one, they'll be undefeated and likely will move into the top 25 in the ABCA coaches poll on Monday. Sparks gets the side out for the Bulldogs, going off the block there. Holloway rotates in for Morgan and will serve the transfer from New Mexico State University. Parrish has to lunge at that and makes it awful easy for Sparks. We're tied at 2. Parrish not able to get under it enough to keep it on her side of the court. And Sparks has made a living in this match off of Angelo State mistakes. She's just a predator at the net. Parrish plays that one. Oh boy, Boldrick stuffed by Sparks, able to get it across, and now Mott, a big hit, is going to create problems, as Mott hits do. I believe that's her 13th or 14th kill of the match. Southwestern Oklahoma State, that's her 13th kill, yeah. Parrish leads the way with 9 for Angelo State. Holloway serves again, now up a point. Parrish receives, back row comes flying in to hit and misses. Bulldog lead now 2 at 4-2. Holloway will serve again. Dale, the set for Allman, finds the corner. Both line judges in agreement on that one. Angelo State gets a point back. Still trail it by 1 as Kirkpatrick comes on to serve early in set 4. Bob Bonner with you on the Skyhawks Sports Network. Thanks for joining us this weekend. We hope you've enjoyed it. We think the players, coaches, and fans who are here have enjoyed the experience, and we certainly hope those of you who've been watching at home have as well. There's a misfire from the Bells, and Permenter will serve. Again, Bulldogs up 2. Boy, they are just going at Parrish, and she is rising to the challenge every time. That's a big hit from Lamphere. Ferguson rotates in for Parrish. She was rotating in for Torres for a while, but it's the freshman Parrish who's getting the rest here lately. Ferguson the serve. Mott, the big smash, misses down the far sideline. Another serve from Ferguson. We're tied at 5, and now Angelo State with the lead. This has been a back and forth affair. All 3 sets have seesawed a little bit. Neither team really able to take control. The first 2 sets, it was the Bulldogs who seized the advantage late. In set number 3, it was Angelo State that had the ability to close it out. Smith ties us at 6. Side out to the Bulldogs there. Chavez to the bench. That brings in Turner and Galt. Smith is the hitter who goes to the bench. 6 apiece in set 4. The Bulldogs of Southwestern Oklahoma State up 2-1. Boy, that was a good serve by Turner. Barely cleared the net. Set this one up to Mott off the block. Punishing hitter. Well, I'll tell you what, I don't know what she plans to do after college volleyball, but just the sheer power when she hits the ball, I don't know if she ever made a fist. That's a powerful, in small girl. She could have a mixed martial arts career. I don't know how tough she is, but seems tough enough to me. Fast, strong, powerful hands. Torres there. A smash off the block. Tied at 7. Side out to Angelo State. Here we go again. Capri Abadessa. This looks exactly like the first 3 sets. I told Capri before this one started we were going to go 5. We've already had 2 5-setters and a 4-setter today. The only 3-set match was the first one this morning when Texas A&M International made quick work of CSU Pueblo. Everything since then has been an absolute dogfight. Angelo State already with a 5-set victory today, as has Southwestern Oklahoma State. 5-setter over Fort Lewis. Angelo State beat East Central Oklahoma in 5 sets. East Central Oklahoma then got their only win of the weekend over CSU Pueblo in 4 sets. CSU Pueblo, a rough day today, 2 losses. Rough day for the Armac. We went 0-3 on the final day of this tournament. Went 2-1 yesterday, 1-0 the first day. Point for Angelo State. They now have a 1-point lead as Lainey Dale steps back to serve. The 5'8" senior from Brock, Texas, came back home after going to UAB to begin her college volleyball career. Came back to Lone Star State to finish it out. That one's just wide. We're tied at 9. Sparks back in. She was dancing her way back onto the floor the first 3 sets. I think starting to tire out a little. She just sort of strolled back on there. Boy, that serve way too strong from Kuzma. She'll give way to Permenter. And Torres will serve for Angelo State, up by a point now in set number 4. The undefeated Bells still down a set, needing to force set 5 here. Torres, a nice serve. Job by Mott to play it. And a big smash by Morgan. Finds the near corner. Enax. I don't know if she's got a problem with a spot in the floor or a problem with her shoes. I think it's a part of the floor she thinks has got a little moisture on it. She gets it cleaned up. Chavez, the setter, to serve here. Smith back on the floor as well. This is the big lineup right now for Southwestern Oklahoma State, and you don't need height. If the other team can't return a serve, there's an ace from Chavez. Bulldogs lead it by a point. This one's just gone back and forth. Neither team has grabbed any kind of an advantage yet, and it's still not going to happen here. Tied at 11. Following the ace, Chavez with the service error. She went back to the well again and just missed right. Sanchez to serve now. Try and give the lead back to the Bells. Morgan, a big hit in the middle, off the block and out of bounds. Side out to the Bulldogs. Enax back in for Angelo State. Sanchez to the bench. Morgan to the bench for the Bulldogs. And Holloway on to serve now for Southwestern Oklahoma State. They lead it by 1, looking to push the advantage to 2 here. Holloway, a very good server. She's been super consistent today. Allman flying in, and Sparks unable to get a seal at the net. Allman scores the kill. She rotates off along with Dale. Lamphere in up front, and the freshman Kirkpatrick back to serve. We're tied this time at 12. I know I've said that before in this game. Probably been tied at 12 in all 3 sets, or 3 of 4 at least. Lamphere gets it across. Smith plays it, but nobody there to help. And Angelo State grabs a lead. Advantage Bells, 13-12. Kirkpatrick, she must be another one of those sneaky good servers. You can't really tell how good a server is sitting up here at the net. You've got to be down along the baseline or end line to see the movement on the ball, to really know how good a server is. There's a nice attack by Smith off the side of the block there of Boldrick, and Lamphere ties it at 13. Permenter back to serve. Sparks rotates off. Permenter, Parrish, a little bit of trouble with that. Enax will keep it in play. Boldrick will send it across. Free play for the Dogs. They set it to Smith. Just misses. Angelo State with the lead and the serve. Bells looking to push a 5th set here. If they want to stay undefeated, they're going to have to. They trail 2-1 to the Bulldogs of Southwestern Oklahoma State. The sophomore Ferguson on to serve for Parrish. And Parrish doesn't go far. I think she comes right back on for the server. I don't think this is even a full half rotation that she stays off. Torres with the miss. We're tied at 14. Nope, Parrish does go to the end of the bench for at least one more play. Cameron Turner back in for the Bulldogs. She'll serve, tied at 14. Lamphere winds and fires off of Mott and Kuzma. That was a no-doubter. You just tell the set was right where it needed to be. Lamphere in a good position to get up and hit that one, and just too powerful for Mott and Kuzma on defense. It's a 1-point lead for Angelo State. Mott flashes her power. Enax able to dig it out, but a free one for the Bulldogs. And Galt, masterful tipster, and she scores another one there. I think she hits it just enough to set up her tips, to be honest with you. She's hit a little more in this match than we saw her in the first 3 that this team played, but she goes back to what brung her here, and that's her tipping ability. Enax is going to get it to Torres. That one's out. The lead now to the Bulldogs. So they got the better of that exchange at the net. Lacey Mott back to serve. This has been dangerous. Mott is a server. It's just a big lineup on the floor when they're at this point in the rotation. And Angelo State at times has struggled with it. Not going to be a problem here as Mott misses the serve. Dale and Allman rotate back on. But again, a size advantage on the floor right now for the Bulldogs. We're tied at 16. But this is a matchup that I think the Bulldogs like. Permenter just bumped across by Morgan. They'll throw up the big block here on Allman, and it's in. The Bulldogs don't like the call, but again, we put the challenge cards away for this one. Angelo State now with a 1-point lead. I thought that might have hit the candy cane, to be honest with you. And I think that might be what Morgan is arguing as well. Dale. Oh, and Morgan plays one that I think was out. Kuzma gets it across, will play on. Dale to Torres. We're going to call the tip at the net. No argument from the Dogs. The lead is 2 now. Angelo State closing in on that 5th set. Maybe tasting it a little bit. Timeout on the floor. Angelo State, a 2-point lead late in the 4th set, looking to force a 5th. Keep their record pristine. Kuzma says not so fast. Southwestern Oklahoma State back within a point. And Kuzma, boy, we see this so often. Kuzma makes the big play and now gets to serve, a chance to tie it. What a difference a day makes in the play of this Oklahoma team. That's a big kill from Allman. Boy, unchallenged down the line. Allman has played really, really well since coming in after Angelo State dropped the first 2 sets. Southwestern Oklahoma State has not made the adjustment to her, and she's been a difference maker in sets 3 and 4. Turner, the set to Galt, who drops it in front of Enax, who's uncharacteristically slow to react there. I think, though, the reason for that, Galt, as I've said, a better tipper than she is a hitter, and I think Enax was looking and waiting to react to the tip, which she would have had time for. The hit, however, came down too quick. It's a 1-point lead for Angelo State. Parrish. Oh, Smith is in the net. Collins doesn't like the call. I mean, he is incredibly unhappy with it. Lets the official know the Angelo State lead back to 2. Boy, this has been a slugfest. Sanchez. Mott receives. Morgan beats Sanchez to the left again. Southwestern Oklahoma State has kept that line judge awful busy here in this set. They trail it by a point. Boy, each of these sets has been an absolute battle. Holloway to serve. Seems like she's come on to serve so many big moments today. Dale to Allman. Chavez handles. Permenter sets it up for Mott. And Enax can't get to it. Lacey Mott, so much velocity on her attack. Holloway serves again, a chance to give the Bulldogs a late lead here. They've come back after trailing by a couple for the last few minutes. Parrish plays that well. Boldrick in the middle, dug out by Permenter. Mott goes deep. Enax able to start the play. Allman with a tip. Sparks sends it back. Mott will crank it deep. Torres plays it. Boldrick with a big smash there. Every point being contested right now by both teams. Talk about want it. There's a dozen players on the floor at any given moment, and all of them want it. There's no lack of effort, energy, or confidence on the part of either team right now. They're both just playing really well. Boy, that serve comes right back. Parrish into the block. Enax was there and ready for it. Lamphere deep with that one. No tip. Waddington asking for a tip. We're tied at 21. Permenter will serve for the Bulldogs. These are the 2 longest tenured coaches at the tournament, too. Collins has been at Southwestern for 12 years. Waddington has been at Angelo State for 16. Smith with a smash. Advantage Bulldogs. And they want to talk about it. I'll take a break, too. Back in a minute. 22-21, Southwestern Oklahoma on top. Southwestern Oklahoma with a lead, 2-1, up 22-21, late in set 4. Lamphere with a smash. We're tied at 22, side out. Angelo State. And Kinnison, who has been on the bench for this entire set, going to come in and serve here. Wow, this is unusual. Parrish has been taken down for Ferguson to serve a couple of times, but he goes with Kinnison here. Nice serve. They send it right back over the net. Oklahoma State able to set a play. Mott goes down the sideline and misses. Angelo State with the lead. Kinnison will serve again. We haven't seen her for 2 sets. She was their star coming in. She was their star yesterday, and she struggled a bit here today, being given a chance to send it to a 5th set here at the service stripe. Mott with a tip. Boy, Torres covered some ground to play that. Lamphere tips it over. Smith plays it back. Mott with a smash off the block that time. And now here comes Torres. Misses the cross quarter wide. We're tied at 23. Winner of this point will force a set point. If it's Southwestern Oklahoma State, that'll be a match point that we play. Cameron Turner, the sophomore, boy, she's been back there to serve so many big points in this match. Enax sends it front row. Big hit from Torres. Permenter is there. Turner to Mott off the block. Kinnison keeps it alive. Torres fires again. Mott, do they give it right back to her? Yes, they do, in the middle off the block. Match point coming your way. That was awesome. They moved Mott from the pin where Angelo State had started loading up the defense on her, brought her over to the middle and let her hit off the quick set. And it has brought us to the most crucial of points here in set number 4. Match point. Southwestern Oklahoma State. Cameron Turner will be serving with a chance to hand Angelo State their first loss of the year. Coach Collins taking his time drawing up a play. Or no, he's not. He's just talking. I thought he was writing something there for a second. His assistant giving Turner instructions on where she wants her to place this serve. 24-23, Southwestern Oklahoma State on top, also leads 2-1. The Angelo State Bells, undefeated, are going to hope to stave off this match point, get a chance to serve again. Lamphere misses. That's the match. And Angelo State, their first loss of the season, comes against a team that really couldn't put anything together when they first got here yesterday. Southwestern Oklahoma State might have ended up being the story of the tournament here when it was all said and done. They finished with a 2-2 record, the same as Fort Lewis College. Angelo State and Texas A&M International both go home with 3-1 records from the Skyhawk Invitational. And CSU Pueblo and East Central Oklahoma go home with 1-3 records. There was a lot of parity in this tournament. The teams that were hot yesterday struggled today and vice versa. That just made it so much fun for the fans here, the players and coaches. I hope you had as much fun at home. This has been Bob Bonner alongside Capri Abadessa, my producer in this event. I want to thank our sports information director, Angela Roberts, and her assistant, Hayden Mangan. Rico Block, my sidekick, who joined me for the majority of the games. We had a lot of fun here, folks. Hope you did too. Thanks for joining us for the 2023 Skyhawks Invitational. It's in the books, and I'm out of here. Good night.